mold. Yeah, my brain could still get polished. Call that shit. Dude,
what's up, Alvin?
it's really good to be back here. I can't even front. I know I've been bothering you, but I missed you, dude. It's just because of that. It's just that.
I've been a great time.
Dude, we have a lot of fun, but I don't think we're the only ones who've been missed. I've been missing the people who we fucking do this podcast for. We've been gone since December 24th.
Yeah, dude.
Today's date is...
Today is the
5th of May.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, man.
Right, Cinco de Mayo, but also, how about this? More importantly, today is a day to wear red to remember missing and murdered Indigenous women in Canada.
Holy shit.
Remember that. I'm not exactly wearing red, and I don't know if the shirt's fully appropriate because it may have some tokenism on it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right? So I'm just going to keep it off camera, but I'm kind of in the spirit, like, how about this? This shirt was, I'm pretty sure I bought this from an Indigenous creator a couple years ago off
cool.
Etsy.
So that makes it more real.
I think, yeah, it's something like that, but like...
Almost justifies.
Almost, but it's definitely like imagery. There's a whole ass feather on my shirt. I'm not clean. Yeah, whatever. But
actually, did you know that mainly, at least here in Canada, it's the Indigenous population who gets shot to death.
Yeah, by the police.
Yeah.
And how about
43% of the people getting shot are Indigenous people. And shot and dying. In Canada.
Now, here's a weird thing that's going to fuck you up, and I think it should fuck other people up. There's also a place in Canada where they have no police death, and that's where the police, the security force and the police is entirely Indigenous run. And that's where you have the lowest incidence of police brutality and death rates and like fuck-ups.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting, right?
Interesting, yeah.
You know what, Jason? Let's go right in.
Let's get dig deep.
Real deep. Okay, yo, do me a favor, hit tab really quick. I just want to make sure I can see the names of my drops.
Yeah.
And I think this is time to bring back... I don't know how to put this. Man, dude, I am unfamiliar with my drops.
What are you looking for?
Unpopular black thought.
We're going right in. Yeah,
okay,
dude,
cool.
right in. There's been way too much stuff. Let me just...
Unpopular black thought.
Yo, let's get back to this. I'm here to take heads. So firstly, I'm so glad Trump is gone. Great, right? Biden came in, but that's a whole ass problem because... Biden. This guy... There was a bit of a firestorm online.
Wait, what happened?
There's so many levels to this moment right now. Okay, so Trump left office, right?
Right.
Fantastic. The Capitol riots happened, right?
Right.
What did that tell us? Was it January 6th, the Capitol riots in North America were like just a bunch of white supremacists and people who are ultimately just disenfranchised and not feeling happy about the government, but a bunch of white folks, they raged on the Capitol. So what happened there is that the police didn't really do shit. At least what we expected, right? At least every common sense person would expect that there'd be a huge response from the police when somebody's at the capital of America.
Right.
And so that wasn't the case. People died. There were cops dying. 5 police officers died. And it was just a lot of it was an insane scene. So now when it comes to where we're at today, Joe Biden being president, he hasn't...
Good president or bad president?
Good president. Yo, this dude's doing shit for the environment. He's the best option that we had available to us. And in fact, I think he's even got good intentions, like intentions better than most people would have in general. But this man needs to address his history when it comes to black people. Just period. Like, we can talk about the whole busing thing, that's blah, blah, blah. But the way he has not passed any significant laws to directly address the moment, the riots, the white supremacy, nothing, police brutality, no laws have been passed. And so I'm going to give him a little bit of bail, but also want to like shit on him a bit. Maybe they're trying to go for a more transformative change. It requires a bigger law. Or they just don't give a fuck because they've passed a couple other laws that relate to specific subsets of people that are just like the Asian hate law, because Asian hate was a real big thing. They passed a law right after that. And I'm just repeating somebody else's points. Dr. Umar Johnson off the fucking Breakfast Club.
Whoa, hang on a second. Because Asian hate was a pretty recent thing.
Very recent. Yeah, I'm trying to catch everyone up. They made a law. Directly
but there was
addressing...
no law made for the,
And let me not say they made a law. Maybe it was just a presidential mandate. Maybe it wasn't exactly a full law. I'm not going to say he did the whole force of the government behind it, but pen was put to paper to address it and realize it and actualize it by the administration. There has been nothing. America barely has a lynching law right now. You know what I mean?
Right. That seems unfair for sure.
There's just moments that
you're just saying there should have been more recognition.
At least acknowledgement, recognition, even if it's a hollow law. Let's just say let's call this something. But we haven't done that. And so I'm gonna give him, I want to shit on him. My unpopular black thought is maybe Biden does not give a fuck about black people, or the other side is he's trying to do something really massive, and so that when it hits, it's got to be transformative at large, because you can't ignore today. But they're also an idiot enough to say that America's not a racist country. So unpopular black thought, I don't know how to feel.
Hang on a second. He said that America's not
Yep.
racist?
I don't know how to feel, Jason. I don't know how to feel.
That's a bit of a wild one.
Yeah. Do I have a drop for this? I don't know if I have a drop for this. Do I have any sad effects? Where's my... Yo, how about this? No, that's not the one.
Yo, how about this?
Biden,
Yeah.
it's wild, bro. It's wild, man. That's how I'm gonna open up this podcast. How you doing? Maybe I should smoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
that's
take it for a
cool.
bit.
I know. I mean, so I think that that's a pretty crazy thing that I mean, just one of the very many crazy things that have happened in the last little while.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think that America in general, like again, I keep looking at the stats there, and like statistics don't lie, right? And I feel like the inequality is very clear. It's very blatant.
Yep.
And you know, as soon as we can just be a little bit more objective in that way and be like, listen, this is what's real.
Actually, I need
to do something about it.
I need to remember. I don't want to glaze over the actually day to remember Indigenous women, because I think I kind of just mentioned that without actually taking a whole second to really give it
Oh, really?
a moment. Yeah, because I know I just said in the beginning. I realized. Wait,
Oh, right. Yeah. We didn't really.
because we're talking about what's
your
real.
feather.
Right, I talked about my feather and something.
Talk about the fucking feather.
I'm the
What's going
center.
on?
My bad. I centered myself so quickly, yo. So the idea is, we're red to just bring recognition to it, because the Canadian government has not been doing much, and it's pretty much like at how can I put this? Like, it's not an epidemic. It's the pattern is so shocking and real to see at the rate at which women of an Indigenous background are victimized, and then their investigations are not taken seriously. They're not followed up on. I mean, as a black person, I can fully relate to this, but then there's the unique context of being Indigenous in North America.
Yeah.
You know?
Even in a place like Canada, where we're supposedly a little bit more multicultural and accepting,
Like you said, let's go back to the real. Mm-hmm.
the reality is that we're really not
We can shit on
accepting
America.
Indigenous people.
No, yeah, we can shit on the States as much as we have for a million things, but we still have our own demons. Like, how the fuck are we dealing with COVID? By the way, we're going so
doing really
fast.
bad in
I
reality.
love this.
Yeah, I think we're in a pretty odd place right now with COVID, bro. Like, I think that Canada, either on the government area or in some sort of I don't know, in some sort of weird economic corruption. Who knows what ended up happening? But we lost the ability to be one of these top countries, which we should be.
Tell them.
Right? I mean, like, we don't have that many people here.
40 million.
Yeah, it's a tiny ass population. We should have had this vaccine shit over and done with, just like New Zealand.
America's
just like the UK.
By the way, did New Zealand vaccinate everyone? I'm just going to ask a quick question. Did New Zealand even have to vaccinate before they opened up?
That I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they just quarantined effectively and got rid of their COVID epidemic in a different way. Then that's
you might
a
be right,
feature.
actually, because I think that they closed the borders. They just shut the whole thing down.
They're an
right away.
island. They can do that pretty effectively, I guess. But like, now they got to worry about that India strain, though.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's still allowed in New Zealand, so I don't. think it's
Yeah.
gonna
New
be
Zealand's
there.
still popping. I mean, you can still go to raves there. It's May, bro. It's almost June, July, whatever. Half the year is gone, man. When are we getting back to normal? Because the Canadian government, they have not been killing it.
I think now it's just starting to roll out at the speed that it should have been. It got really bad in Ontario, right? I mean, Justin basically pulled the Red Cross in, dude.
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about it personally.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, right. Of course. I mean, we experienced the thing.
We had COVID.
COVID, yeah,
Yo.
the COVID ride.
I'm
COVID
really
train.
grateful to be alive. You know what I mean? And I want to give a shout out to the doctors. Let's give them claps. All those people. You know, doctors get all the points. I want to say, are we just some of the lucky cases? Because honestly, let's be frank about it. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat shit right now. It was a really mild case for me. I had 2 days where I felt like trash, in the sense where I just wanted to sleep all the time. I was not happy. It wasn't like my nose was stuffy. I wasn't coughing a lot. I was just tired and groggy. You know what I mean? Tired, and it felt like I had a fever for one day. That was pretty bad. What else? And then afterwards, I had a cough. Like, if you smoked a bong and you smoked bong for a while, you might think it was like a really regular bong cough, plus having a cold. So it was like having a cold and being a smoker. That's kind of what the cough was like. It never seemed to worry. My oxygenation seemed fine. I guess I lost my smell at the very end of it. At the very end of my COVID, I lost my smell for 4 days. And I was also quarantining with my partner, and so her symptoms overlapped with mine for the most part. So by the time I had my first shitty days, it was the first 5 days that were tough. I didn't know I had COVID until maybe 5 days into actually being symptomatic, and then I got tested on the 8th day. So in that time, I had no symptoms until I got tested. I'm like, wait, this cough is lingering. I'm a recovering smoker. Quit last month.
Pew, pew, pew.
Gee!
Yeah. Good job, dude.
Gee!
Wow.
Anyway, I quit smoking. Mom, I know you're gonna love to hear that. I told the whole world, but like it was weird because I thought it was just a smoker's cough. But then I also had recognized that in the studio we had been working, and I have to be careful for my clients. That's the thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard. Like, you can get exposed so easily. The thing is that COVID is crazy contagious, and it just takes one slip.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what it is.
It's
just one, and then all of a sudden it spread so fast. But you know what was weird for my situation is I had it, right.
Yeah.
And I was around my parents, and I was around
people who are over the age of 50, 40.
My mom's in her 50s, and my dad's just about to turn 50.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, it was weird. You know, they didn't
symptoms.
Didn't experience anything. I barely experienced any kind of like serious symptom. You know, there were times where I thought I could sense something.
Yeah, right. There's a feeling. Okay, I'm feeling fluish. How about this? I had the audacity to say maybe I caught the cold.
Yeah,
I had that thought because like this isn't feeling like COVID. Like maybe this is just a cold, and now am I the one lucky motherfucker who catches a cold in the middle of a COVID pandemic? I genuinely had that moment. I won't lie. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just this because like it felt that mild, but like once again, maybe I'm young, lucky, whatever odds, whatever strain we caught, whatever. I don't know. We lucked out for the most part.
I think the majority of the population gets lucky. I mean, not lucky. Just again, statistically, the majority of the population will be okay.
Yeah.
It's just that when it does hit, it hits hard.
Yeah, and if you're not prepared, and we're lucky to be living in like where we live, in the place where fucking my landlord can't really, like the landlords, they're not trying to fuck us. You know, there's a consensus around that. There's a whole thing where we're kind of agreeing to support each other a bit. Sure, the government has shortcomings, but if you really apply, there's social supports, there's all these things in between. So where we are compared to where a lot of other places are in the center of like fucking capitalism, like the center of gravity, we're lucky to be here versus India where they're literally running out of like oxygen tanks and people are dying at it like in the tens of thousands or some ridiculous number. Like it's where we are. You know, I could be calm about having COVID. I'm like, all right, cool. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to end up in the hospital and someone's going to take care of me.
You know what? It's pretty crazy that you say that because it's so true.
Yeah.
Here in North America, we're like so lucky, right? We get all these like special treatments. Like actually, that goes to what's happening in Colombia.
Ooh, let's go.
In the last 2 days, it was just like, boom. All of a sudden, the government
There's no drop for that.
Was like, I'm going to fucking raise the taxes by I think it was about 19%.
Gee!
And you know that's a bit steep, right?
Sorry, that drop is hilarious. Oh, it's the best thing ever. Sorry about that, bro.
It's okay. But yeah, man, it hit right just out of the blue, 19%. People aren't making a crazy amount of money already. COVID's been hard on everyone.
Yeah.
Right, and dude, like this raise, they started protesting, right? The people started protesting, which is a normal thing for people to do. When people feel like they're not able to support something crazy that the government does, they protest.
By the way, protesting has become a lot more normal. I want to get on that later.
Yeah, I mean, we were expected to have more protests during the season, right? I mean,
we're under
pandemics make unstable places and
the pressure is
places
on.
Protest.
Yeah, we're already there. So sorry to cut off thought, but like you were saying, like the protests are going to protest because we are reacting reasonably to tyranny. It's like protest is a reasonable reaction to tyranny.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's. Anyways, basically, the Colombian government made the law. The protests happened. The protests weren't crazy, violent, or anything. People were pissed, right?
Okay.
But they weren't doing anything crazy.
Let me take this off.
Then all of a sudden, right, the government starts sending the military in, And now there's people getting like bombed and like shut up, and there's gas everywhere, and it's really fucked up. Right?
So it's just full. Like the response did not match.
No, it was not a good response.
It was like just overwhelmingly like just huge it's an overreaction to say the least.
It's what I guess is classified as police brutality.
Deadass. Okay,
Right?
let's call it what it is. Okay, so state brutality done by the police. I'm sorry about the noise, guys.
The military police.
I'm just enjoying a freezy.
Oh, dude, the freezies, yeah, man. The freezies are life changing. Alvin and I just finished the last 2 freezies. They were so good.
I didn't think as a 27-year-old man I could enjoy a freezy like this. But also, I'm hiding the brand, so no brand placement. But
no brand placement. Okay, so anyways, so it was really sad. But that being said, right, we're not in Colombia. We don't have to experience that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I see some of my friends here who are Colombian. They're getting phone calls from their family, and like people are genuinely concerned that this is the end for Colombia. Like, this is it.
Yeah, I mean, Uganda had an election in January as well. Hundreds of people died. Tear gas, the whole thing. Like,
oh, I remember that. Yeah,
it's happening. Imagine being a country going through a power change in the middle of a pandemic and a global recession.
That is fucking nuts. Yeah, and again, but yeah, so we're really lucky. We're very fortunate.
We out here.
I think on top of it all, right? Being so fortunate here in Canada, I think that our rights and ability to discuss things and talk about things just like we do on this podcast, the fact that we're able to post this, is so fucking good, right? It's the one thing we got.
It's all we got, man.
Yeah,
like, I mean, we have our work, and I think our work,
our
we
work
actively do. I like our work.
I agree. I love our work.
Without patting ourselves on the back too much, I enjoy the fact that we give our access, we give our time to our community at large, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think, how about this? Not unpopular black thought, but just a thought. I think through our work, have you come to embrace more of your identity through our work in the past little bit? Have you been feeling more like, I can say I am a Latino man who does XYZ? Like, is that more of a thing you carry around? Because I feel like I've noticed a change in you a bit.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, like, I'm realizing there is a Latino community around me.
Wicked.
That I didn't necessarily see before.
Right? Let's pick up still.
I've been in Canada so long with mainly, people of different descents. Like,
that's the thing.
I've never really thought of myself as Latino. I've just thought of myself as
a Canadian
person that's living here.
Yeah, I'm here in Canada.
Yeah, I'm living here in Canada.
And I'm me.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's not even like I am a thing. I'm me, and I'm here in Canada.
Yeah, I'm just a person. I'm here in Canada, and that's kind of the way I've always like thought about it. But I've obviously not been ignorant to the fact that these things are very like classified.
For real.
Or sorry, they're almost like, well, there's segregation. Segregation exists.
It's a hardcore thing, and like I like the fact you chose that term, because we classified or segregated. It lets you know that like it's all about intention, right? And like I think sometimes, how about this? I want to talk about another protest that's a little bit different, but still kind of related. So Manchester United, my football club.
Nice.
Right? Big segue away from identity, but I'm gonna bring it right back. And also things being segmented. Trust. Remember those two things. Because I might forget them.
I'm alive. I'm ready.
Cool. All right. So Manchester United as a football club, they recently had they're supposed to have a game against Liverpool, and that's going to be a huge game for the season. And also, you were on a roll. We're trying to make changes. But something that's interesting about Manchester United is that we have American owners. The club is owned by Americans, and the fan base has been really displeased for a long time. 10 years now, they've hated the owners. It's the Glazer family, and I don't really know much else about that. The Glazer family, right?
Are they Glazers?
See, I really wanted to say like just the Glazer. Like, I'm just gonna give them an L for that. Do I have the L sound? Just for that name. Oh yeah, Colombia government. Anyway, they don't get you right. So the idea is there's this reaction to this American way of doing business in a particular unique culture. This football is a unique culture. That whole world about a hooliganism, why you stand for your club, what club is different from which. There's a whole bunch of identities in there, and then there's this capitalist force that comes in without being aware of the culture. These American buyers, and they do things differently. And the thing that like broke the straw that broke the camel's back was this initiative they had to create a separate league of football players. They tried to, and the reaction by the fans was that they said, "Wow, you're just going to take our well-established and hard-worked-for culture, rip it out and just put it in something new because you don't care. And that's a common theme when it comes to fucking capitalism, when they treat you like just an object. They fucking put you in that box. What was the word that you used? Segment versus... segregate versus classified, right?
Yeah.
It's the way that capitalism just deconstructs things, and it's just that crazy thing. It was like, I feel like there's something more there, but this reaction to capitalism by tiny cultures. When you have big capitalism and a small unique culture, there's almost always pushback. And I feel like that's for black people, that's for footballers, that's for almost everyone at large.
Right.
I don't know. I think capitalism